Hey, what up YouTube? This is Demolinator of Team Metaphorical Jew coming at you with a deck profile. I know we haven't been doing too much recently, but that's because all of the footage we've gotten on camera has just sucked. I mean, the audio has been terrible. There's been a lot to complain about. So today I'm trying to restart our regular video making, and I know I did a bunch of budget builds before, and this really isn't this isn't the same thing. This isn't budget at all. So enough of my blathering. This is my Superbia Twilight deck, and I don't know, let's just get started. Obviously you got Blackluster Soldier there. Key monster of the deck. I'll do all the combos later, I'll just do the list now. BLS, the 2 Judgment Dragons. 2 copies of Archlord Christia. I'm just gonna move around over this way quick so I can try and stay out of the camera's way. Alrighty. So yeah, 2 Christias. I actually run an Arcana Force 21. Like I said, I'll explain everything later. Paralilas. 1 Celestia. A Shire. Aaron. Yeah, just fucking Mumino, Raiko, Garroth, Wolf, and Jane. So that's a light half of the Twilight. Then we have the Darks, Dark Arm Dragon, Dark Creator, 2 Dark Lord Superbias, 2 Phantoms of Chaos. Phantom of Chaos is it? I don't know. 2 Trigodias. I guess that's the end of the Darks. Then just a couple other ones. I have Honest in here as a light support, and I have a Card Trooper. For spells now, we have 3 Solar Recharge, 3 copies of Trade-In, 2 copies of Dark World Dealings because I don't have 3, so I'm working with 2. 2 Monster Reincarnations, a Charge of the Light Brigade, an Allure, Monster Reborn, and Heavy Storm. That's the entire deck right there, actually. So, now to go into some of the combos. I mean, the deck is supposed to just cycle through itself as fast as possible, and then drop the biggest boss monsters it can. It's kind of arranged in waves if you can do it right. Because ideally, you search your deck with Dark World Dealings, with Allure, all that draw power, and you search out as many of Dark Armed, BLS, JD, and Monster. If you can get these, you've got a ridiculously good combo. So, after you've milled in all that nonsense, you activate Monster, which allows you to special summon a Dark Lord Superbia. Now your opponent's going to want to negate that because hopefully by now you've already drawn into a Christia. Or, like I said, I put in Arcana Force 21. He's another berry target. Starts out at 3100. I intend to replace him with Master Hyperion if I can get one. I assume I can. That guy's weaker, but it gives you an extra pop for Dark Armed, so it'll make your opponent want to waste their back row removal cards on Monster Reborn, so they don't have to deal with Superbia, Christia, or some other big beatstick. And so, if they get past that wall of monsters, then you hopefully will be able to set your grave up pretty good for a Dark Armed Dragon. And you can use him at whatever time you want. I mean, the order varies depending on what you've got. Then use Dark Armed, and if they don't stop that, you use him to clear out the rest of their back rows. Or if they do kill him, go for JD. You only need 1 to clear the field, and anything your opponent has left is probably a wall of monsters, if anything, or a couple spell traps. But even if they stop that, you can just get rid of him, and you've still got BLS to go back to. And that's pretty much the ideal combo. I mean, the faster you can get into some of this stuff, the better. I find myself milling out a lot of the key cards. I don't know what else to say about that. It's just kind of rough with the whole lightsworn. You're putting a lot of stuff to chance. I've also got Card Trooper in here because I was originally replacing him while I got a third trade-in, and I actually do like him in here because he lets you mill stuff and you can draw. So it's basically just thinning your deck with this boy. I do intend to replace him with Cephalon the Ultimate Time Lord once I get him, because I really want one and I know I'm going to get it. It just refuses to come in the mail. A couple other interesting things I'd like to mention. The inclusion of Dark Creator and Phantom of Chaos. Phantom of Chaos is kind of self-explanatory because you can remove any of these guys to get their effects off. And again, your opponent will probably want to waste their removal on that, because otherwise Phantom's going to use that power to just run stuff over. Dark Creator is another revival target card for Dark Lord Superbia. There aren't as many as I would have liked, and I can't figure out a good way to get his effect off, because it requires him being in the graveyard. So it's really up in the air. If you have any recommendations, I'm more than appreciative if you can give them to me. Yeah, so that's the deck. Let me know what you think. Give me some fixes and stuff. I think I'm going to try and test by taking out that Arcana Force and putting in my third JD. But until next time, that's Demolinator and Team Metaphorical Jew.